Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. We'll be getting into some of Kamala's latest antics shortly, but first let's start with a Hollywood clown actor, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who decided to post this video of himself trying to take down Trump's tax cuts. Trying being the operative word. Like most Hollywood types, he has no idea what he's talking about.
So Donald Trump wants to give me $70,000 in tax cuts per year. And by the way, he doesn't want to give that to everybody. But I just read, that's the average tax break for the top 1% if Donald Trump is elected president, $70,000. And you might say, well, he's going to give tax breaks to everybody, but not really, because of all the tax cuts, of all that money, nearly half of it is going to go to just the top 5% of people.
Oh, wow, you got him there. Half of the tax cuts will go to just the top 5% of income earners. Could that be, Joseph, because they pay most of the tax collected? You do realise that's how the system works, and you're not getting a gift from Donald Trump. You just get to keep more of the money you've earned. And if you haven't earned it in the first place, you can't get it back in a tax cut. This isn't hard. Let's make it even easier for you, because I know lefties get nervous around facts and figures. The top 5% of taxpayers pay 65.6% of all income tax collected, according to the IRS. So it looks like they're being shortchanged with that tax cut. But Joseph, this is the actor who bleated endlessly about the ordeal of playing a cop given his support of BLM, and he called Trump a despot in 2020. We shouldn't be too surprised that old Joe has more advice to impart to the American people. Get ready to lose some brain cells.
If you want to talk about who's going to really help most Americans, it's Kamala. Trump's going to help the same people he always tries to help, the wealthy. Himself. He was born a wealthy guy. And look, I completely respect needing to vote for the candidate that's going to make it easier for your family. But Donald Trump isn't that candidate. Donald Trump's trying to give me $70,000. So, Mr. Trump, thank you, but no thanks.
Oh, just an economically illiterate idiot, and a hypocrite too, because he will take that cut, he will pocket it, and you're free to donate it, Joseph, to whoever you want, even the government. Now, we've brought you plenty of clips of indoctrination in schools, but here we'll see an adult indoctrinate what appears to be a very young child, possibly the woman's own child, with radical gender theory by suggesting the names on a board game are non-binary with they-them pronouns. No wonder the kids are confused these days.
So this person might not feel like a girl or a boy. So their pronouns would be them and they, right? And so when we're talking about them, we could say they really like mac and cheese.
Do it have hat on?
Yes, they do have a hat.
But what if the hat identifies as a pumpkin? These ideologues can't even enjoy a board game with their kids without using it as an opportunity to push their mad Marxist ideology. Now to one of the Democrats' big social media hacks, who appears obsessed with telling us how happy she is to be child-free. It's a tad strange.
I'm 42, child-free, it's Sunday fun day, no babysitter needed. Let's go.
Okay, I assure you the right does not hate this. They probably would prefer lefties losing it to stop procreating. But why the need to keep ranting about this?
I'm 42, I'm child-free, it's the weekend, I'm in Atlantic City, party time.
She does know that you can be 42 and still go out, even if you're a mum and the kids don't stay toddlers forever. But at least while this Democrat fangirl Angela is doing her child-free shtick, she's not dancing. Where's the music? I mean, bless her, she's adorable in a slightly demented kind of way. Now to the demented kind of way without the adorableness. Let's check in with the ladies of The View. And here one of them tries to make a sane, obvious point that you shouldn't be mean or disown friends or family whose politics differ from yours. It doesn't go well. First, there's pushback from Joy Behar, and then Anna Navarro loses it.
We shouldn't demean Trump supporters. We shouldn't call them names. We shouldn't say they're cultists or ignorant.
They have issues.
Because we all have them in our lives, and we all have them in our lives, and we love them. And if they don't change, it's not going to change my relationship with them.
I do think we should call them names, and I think Donald Trump. I think Tim Walz's brother is dumb as hell, because if he gets into that vice presidential mansion, he's going to miss a lot of good parties if he's estranged from his brother.
Yeah, forget about your principles. Think of the parties. Navarro was heaping abuse there on Tim Walz's brother for endorsing Trump. Now, let's look at this exchange between Charlie Kirk and a confused young man who thinks he's smarter than he actually is, whose arguments pretty much amount to shouting racist, bigot, transphobe.
Racist who does not have accurate statistics or facts. You are not a gender scientist. You cannot speak on that because you cannot understand.
What percentage of murders do blacks commit in America?
We shouldn't justify you being here by giving you an audience. You do not speak accurate facts.
What have I said that's not factual or not true or anything that I've said that's racist? Name one thing.
Yeah.
Black people are 13% of the population and they commit 50% of the murders. You can look it up.
Overpoliced.
Wait, you
What's your source?
The FBI, the Department of Justice.
FBI, Department of Justice. It did not get any better for this angry, befuddled lefty losing it.
It is a fact that blacks have a disproportionate amount of the violent crime in their community. Why do you think that is?
I'm not here to debate with you because I don't want to platform you. You're a racist.
Wait, you called me a racist. What have I ever said that's racist, or do you just think numbers are racist?
You said y'all don't f***ing understand statistics. How are you speaking on numbers?
Thanks for your time.
Oh dear, that sad soy boy doesn't want to give Kirk a platform, the dude with millions and millions of followers. That makes sense. Now, MSNBC wish they had as many viewers as Turning Point USA. We have more people watching this segment online than the most watched MSNBC shows. I'm not kidding. And this may be why. They've veered so far left that they are advocating for Elon Musk to be punished for not being a government mouthpiece.
And he has a right to express his opinion. However, that right is not unlimited, and he is under some special limitations that wouldn't apply to normal people because his companies, specifically Starlink and SpaceX, are government contractors. And as such, he has obligations to the government that would, for any normal person, and should for him, require him to moderate his speech in the interest of national security. So what you have is somebody who runs really strategic defense and aerospace projects for the federal government who's actively undermining the government, which is paying him. And somewhere in there is a legal case that needs to be prosecuted.
Moderate his speech in the interest of national security. Somewhere in there is a case that needs to be prosecuted. What do you mean? They want to create new laws to have a sham trial like they did with Trump? And how exactly is Elon Musk doing anything that could compromise national security by allowing inconvenient facts to be shared on X, allowing free debate? Is it a threat to the national security now? No wonder no one is watching MSNBC, but what they lack in audience numbers, they make up for in pure hypocrisy. Here they claim that mispronouncing Kamala's name, the latest preferred pronunciation of her name, amounts to racism and sexism. But here is a full minute of lefties doing just that, including plenty of them on MSNBC. See if you can count how many times Kamala's name is mispronounced in this next clip.
The hate campaign against Kamala Harris has begun. You will notice They purposefully pronounce her name wrong. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. People like Kamala Harris. But as Kamala said, Kamala Harris. Kamala and I. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is Kamala.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was a very good prosecutor.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. I know her.
Kamala was first, Biden and Kamala.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. And to the Kamala point, they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. They say Kamala. They do it all the time. It is on purpose. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was talking about this.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
I counted 61 there. So many racist, sexist lefties. Now to the worst thing to happen to the American education system. Take it away, Randy.
If we win, that means we strengthen democracy. That means we strengthen our freedoms. That means the middle class can be ascended. That means we strengthen education. We strengthen the economy. We strengthen our rights.
That was president of the American Federation of Teachers. Now to a woman in a burqa whining about Vietnam vets being proud of their service. This is so crazy that I'm wondering whether it's satire.
I just think it's so distasteful and sick that like all these older men walk around with their like Vietnam vet hats and like bumper stickers, and I'm just like, in what world is it cool to like invade a country and like kill lots of people? And I mean, that's not a defensive war, especially when there's like a lot of Asian men, like Filipinos, who fought in that war. I'm just like, guys, it's not cool. It makes me actually feel sick to my stomach.
You know what's upsetting to me? Seeing a woman in a free country where she has full rights choose to subjugate herself, where she's completely dehumanized, whether it's behind a burqa or a niqab, where she's hidden from the world. Women in countries like Iran are being beaten, imprisoned, and even killed fighting against hijab laws. And then you have women like that in the West putting on the political garments of Islamism. By the way, burqas are banned in more than a dozen countries, including France, and with good reason. Okay, I made you wait long enough. Let's get some Kamala goodness. Here she is in the little setup that her campaign has organised. She's in a spice shop comforting a weeping woman.
Pretty sure you know. Oh, it's gonna be good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We are all in this together. Yes, we are. We're gonna be fine. We are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Huh? Yes. Did you get some spices? Oh, absolutely.
Oh. Did you get some spices? Hysterical laughter. Perhaps the Gold Star families Kamala has ignored for 3 years after their loved ones were killed in the botched Afghanistan withdrawal should frequent spice shops. Maybe she'll acknowledge their existence then. And if you think this was just a spontaneous encounter, this little spice shop is called Penzies Spices, and it has a hate page on their website called About Republicans, which has a 842-word rant against the GOP, saying things like, "We've done pretending the Republican Party's embrace of cruelty, racism, COVID lies, climate change denial, and threats to democracy are anything other than the risks they legitimately are. If you need us to pretend you are not creating the hurt you are creating in order for you to continue to be our customer, I'm sad to say you might be happier elsewhere." Yeah, I think you're right there. Feel the love and unity, folks. That's the love and unity the Democrats preach about. Now, Kamala's always had a taste for the consequential issues. Here's a clip of her opining about the colour of Starbucks coffee cups, their lids.
So you know how those lids are, because this is, well, I'm just going to speak, okay? So this is it. So you know how those lids on those Starbucks cups, they're white, right? And so if you wear lipstick, They get all over the lid. And so then I find myself in meetings if I'm the only woman, and that's kind of, and so I keep taking the lid off and having my cup out so that I don't have that big lipstick mark on the lid. So I said, can we do something about the color of the lid? So that was that conversation.
It's almost impossible to parody that. But thank God we have Esti Pouty, because she's done just that.
That's my jam. So y'all know how they have those, white cups, white lids in Starbucks? And, I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna say it, right? So, they have those lids. And, if you're the only woman and you're wearing lipstick, I'm in that meeting and I gotta, put the cup down, gotta take out the lid, I gotta drink it, like, it's a whole big thing. And, so you know what I said? I said, can we do something about the color of this lid? Can we do something?
And we'll have plenty more lefties in this next segment. Joining me now is host of Primetime with Alex Stein on Blaze TV, Alex Stein. I want to get your thoughts on the clip that's being pushed hard by the media at the moment of the VP comforting an elderly lady in a spice shop. But what do you make of that 2018 clip where she seems a little too preoccupied with coffee cups and what colour their lids are?
Well, it's obvious that Kamala Harris doesn't like the color white, and I guess these lids aren't enough of a DEI hire for her, so she's going to go after Starbucks. And it's kind of sad that this is what the potential free leader of the world is worried about, the color of her coffee lid so that her lipstick doesn't show. I just think that there are much bigger fish to fry than the shade of lipstick residue that's on her Starbucks.
I would have never, ever thought of that. And I'm sure the same things happen to me where I've been in a meeting with blokes and my lipstick may be on the coffee cup lid. Who cares? I mean, why would you be concerned with that? And she talked about how she'd take the lid off so people wouldn't see her lip. Her lipstick is on her lips, Kamala. Everyone can see you wearing lipstick. You don't need to hide it. The whole thing is absurd. But we've got the debate looming, very exciting indeed. It could be the one and only debate. In fact, it does look like it's going to be the one and only debate between Harris and President Donald Trump. And some insiders are leaking that her team are nervous about her performance. Alex, what do you think she needs to do to get in Trump's head? And what is the best game plan for Trump?
Well, Trump needs to let her talk. She did okay at the DNC when she had that prepared statement. But if she has to improv anything, she's probably going to have a little too many glasses of wine, and who knows what can happen. So Trump just needs to let her speak, because she's not well off script. That's very obvious. She's terrible off script.
But you would think with all the time she's had to prepare for this debate that she knows what's to come. She knows what the major questions are going to be, and she's going to have everything almost word perfect ready to go. There's a few hot topics, and she's had plenty of time to get her answers down pat. So it's going to be fascinating. We'll be watching it, and Paul Murray and myself will be watching it live and bringing you our reactions at it as it happens. But let's move on to something more frivolous. Former Bachelorette star Josh Seater, who now identifies as a woman, has made a video empathising with the many dangerous situations women find themselves in.
Hi everyone! I just wanted to talk today about being aware of dangerous situations that women can often find themselves in. Now that I'm a woman, I'm always aware of what's going on around me and when my guard needs to go up. The other day I was working out and a man came up to me and he made a comment about my muscular physique, and that just sent shockwaves through my body.
Alex, I've asked you about this before. I need to know, is that just some big troll, some parody act? Is it a reality show that he's filming that we don't know about? Or is that genuine? It's killing me not knowing.
No, Josh is playing a character, but Josh is actually doing a very good job, in my opinion, showing how absurd it is that people can just identify as a girl for 5 minutes and start to use the women's restroom. So, I like what Josh is doing, trying to expose that a lot of these trans people that are just trying
You're
to play
sure
a
it's not
caricature.
real? You are
Yes,
sure? You are sure?
Yes. Rita, yes, I know this. I know Josh is just yanking our chain, as they say here in America. It is totally an act. Josh is not an idiot when it comes to, going viral, and Josh is getting a lot of attention, and that viral fame can be addicting. So I think that's why Josh has doubled down and continuing to play this character.
But as we've seen with some other characters, things that we thought were parody, even Dylan Mulvaney in the early days, people were convinced it was a big troll. And then surgeries were happening and there was feminization happening beyond what you would expect from a parody act. So I don't know. I'm not 100%, but I'll trust your judgment on that one. Now, we've heard a lot from veterans who are outraged about Kamala Harris's VP pick. Tim Walz is embellishing his record, his military record, for political gain. But we haven't heard much from McDonald's employees about Harris possibly doing the same, because she claims she once worked at McDonald's. People are casting doubt on that. And you went searching for the truth.
We are at McDonald's. We're going to ask the employees if they're upset that Kamala Harris would steal their valor of being a McDonald's employee. Did you see Kamala Harris said that she lied and said she worked at McDonald's? What do you think about it? Do you think that's bad that she lied? She lied. She didn't really work here. They did a background check. They asked corporate. She never worked there. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your service. She said she used to work at McDonald's. They caught her lying. The corporate office said she stole your valor. Kamala Harris could never cook a fry this good. You guys like it. What do you have to say about that?
I have to ask you.
I'm going to leave, but you don't want to say one comment? What are you going to do, call the cops?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to ask him about Kamala Harris lying about working at McDonald's. No comments?
That could be the most ridiculous cop interaction you've had so far, Alex, and that's saying something. How do you know this is true? You've gone there and you've said that she has stolen these McDonald's workers' valor. How do you know Kamala didn't work at a McDonald's way back when?
Well, this is how I know, because Snopes is still not confirming whether she has or hasn't, because there's no indication from corporate that she was ever an employee. And if you worked at McDonald's, you'd keep your name tag. You would know the location that you worked at. If she had one bit of evidence that she worked at McDonald's, she would be able to prove it in 2 seconds, Rita.
Are you saying she hasn't even said which McDonald's she worked at? Surely she knows that. I don't expect her to keep her name tag, but you would expect her to remember which outlet she was in.
Well, they even looked at her resume for jobs that she had after, and she never put that she worked at McDonald's. And believe it or not, having McDonald's on your resume as a young kid would probably give you, a leg up in other jobs, because they would say, hey, look, you worked hard. You worked in a service industry, so it would show you to have customer care. It would show you how to be, hardworking. She lied.
That's crazy in itself, to have someone vying to be the leader of the free world lying about working at Macca's, really. Now, former First Lady Melania Trump is about to release her memoir, which she hopes will clarify the facts around her life and service.
Writing this memoir has been a deeply personal and reflective journey for me. As a private person who has often been the subject of public scrutiny and misrepresentation, I feel a responsibility to clarify the facts. I believe it is important to share my perspective, the truth.
Her memoir has already soared to the top spot on several Amazon bestseller lists, despite not being released until October 1st. Alex, what are you hoping this memoir reveals? And let's not forget, Melania is the first lady in many years not to feature on the cover of Vogue, despite obviously being a very beautiful, stylish woman. We had Jill on the cover, Hillary, Michelle, but no Melania.
Yeah, Melania is absolutely beautiful. And then when Vice President Kamala was on the cover, she was wearing Chuck Taylor tennis shoes.
And it shows you, for all the people that say Donald Trump is against immigration, he married an immigrant. So I think that just proves their point to be invalid. And I'm excited to see her side of the story. And she gets a lot of unfair treatment. I think it would be very hard to be Melania Trump with all the unfair attacks because of her husband on her. So I'm excited to see what comes out in this memoir that'll give us an inside scoop.
Alex Stein, thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you, Rita.